SmackDown is in Jacksonville, Florida tonight. And in case you were living under a rock, that's the same city that All Elite Wrestling did a rally earlier today in which they announced a whole bunch of signings to their promotion, and they also announced two events. The first one is a show we already knew that was going to be called Double or Nothing, and now has a date and a location. It takes place May 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then they announced a second show. They didn't give a date for that. That's going to be taking place in Jacksonville, Florida. So they also announced several signings. They announced that the women are going to have equal pay as the men. And also, Chris Jericho has officially signed with All Elite Wrestling. And that ties it into SmackDown, because I don't know if you guys noticed, go onto the SmackDown roster page, Chris Jericho is still listed. So I don't know if he's still going to be listed after this. But I'm sure Vince McMahon is probably not too happy about that. And also tying it into SmackDown, there's been reports that several fans who are going to be in attendance for SmackDown tonight were wearing All Elite Wrestling gear. They might have attended the rally earlier, then went to SmackDown, and they were reportedly denied entry into the arena. So that's really not surprising at all. It's very petty of WWE. And it was also several fans had to take off their gear, or several fans just left the arena. So I don't know how many fans this happened to, but that's going to be a story around the internet, and especially on Twitter for sure. It's definitely going to be controversy. So SmackDown tonight opens up with Daniel Bryan backstage at the concession stands, and what he's doing is he's going at actual fans backstage. I'm sure all of them were plants, ones who actually interacted with him, and he's ripping everyone, calling people fickle, and he's tearing into the fans, and he does some actual physicality to these plants. Basically, there's two Samoan dudes eating a hot dog, and then Daniel Bryan snatches the hot dog. I'm sure they're both going to be signed to WWE soon, these two Samoan guys. Then he throws a soda at someone's shirt, which was pretty funny. And then he goes to the merchandise stand. He rips, into the merchandise guy. He complains about the plastic with AJ Styles' gloves. And then he makes his way down to the arena. And what he is, he's at the top of the stands. He just walks down, and what's funny is all you see beside him is these giant fat men. Every single guy he walked past was 400 pounds. It was kind of embarrassing. Shit, these are all wrestling fans. He's, ripping into them, calling them names, and eventually he makes his way down. This segment was actually great, and out of nowhere he's jumped by R-Truth, and he has a match with R-Truth next on the show. And it was a really cool way to start the show. They started off Raw a little bit weird too last time. Maybe this is what they're going to do in 2019. Instead of the dreaded opening segment, same shit, they're doing something different. I don't know how long that'll last, but that's actually kind of cool. And when Daniel Bryan and R-Truth have their match quickly after R-Truth attacks them, they go to a commercial. They never really explain how that works. I mean, why don't you just start the match now? What do they do to calm them down? They have to, or Daniel, R-Truth, wait 5 minutes before we go to commercial and we come back. So anyway, Daniel Bryan won. Match was okay. Then once Daniel Bryan celebrates, he gets up to the stage. AJ Styles jumps him. Then they have security stopping AJ Styles. I guess security took a break of throwing away fans who were wearing AEW merchandise, so they had to stop AJ Styles. They had a long day for WWE security tonight. AJ tried to hit Daniel Bryan with the chair, so they set up AJ pretty well here, setting up this feud well. Made AJ look like he's genuinely furious with Daniel Bryan. So I personally think AJ Styles is going to win the belt. I might change my mind when I make my predictions, and we still have 2 more weeks of television, so it's still a long way. But right now I'm thinking AJ is going to get the belt. Up next, we had a tag match. You have Rey Mysterio and Mustafa Ali against Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega and Samoa Joe. The big winner here was the fans, because we all got to see Zelina Vega in that beautiful white outfit, I just have to say. But the match here, it was fun. They're clearly building to something with Almas and Mysterio, which I'm fine with. Almas pinned Mysterio, which was definitely a surprise. There was just one really amazing exchange in which Mysterio, he flips 3 times with Almas. It was just insanity, and he hits him with DDT. That was just really, really awesome. Match was good, and they had Almas winning, and Almas and Joe win. Joe was just a complete afterthought. They're building to Almas and Mysterio. They're going to push Ali, I think, still. But Joe of the 4 was just a complete afterthought here. And it looks like, I don't know when Almas and Mysterio are going to have a major pay-per-view match, but I think that's down the line for sure. They have Carmella backstage. She's talking about how she can't win, mainly because she can't. I mean, she's Carmella, who's facing probably the two best female wrestlers in the company, with the exception of maybe the best female wrestler in the company, who's the women's champion in Asuka. So that's the main event. It's a triple threat. Charlotte, Becky, and Carmella. The winner faces Asuka at the Rumble. The promo is just, this Carmella is terrible. It's like, I find her, when she was champion last year, I was just ripping her every single week. You can look back on some of those episodes. I actually kind of regret some of the stuff I was saying about her. I was just saying she's dreadful. It's just like, she was horrific as champion. And I'm sure in real life, Carmella is a very nice person. I'm sure she is. I'm sure she's not a bad person. It's just when she gets a push, she's not good. She's just horrible. All right? She's really, really bad. I really hope they don't push her. I mean, nothing is worse than what happens on Raw when Nia Jax got a push, because she's the worst women's wrestler of all time. But Carmella, it's just, she doesn't like bother me personally. It's just, she's not talented. She doesn't deserve to be pushed. Especially makes it worse when she beats Asuka twice on pay-per-view last year. That's a fucking joke. They have Miz and Shane McMahon. This is the worst storyline of the year. Like, it's 8 days into this new year. This is already going to win worst feud of the year. Last year, the worst feud of the year was Bayley and Sasha Banks. This year, worst feud of the year is already going to be Miz and Shane McMahon. Fuck this feud. Fuck this storyline. Worst storyline and worst feud of the year in my 2019 year-end awards. Miz and Shane McMahon. I'm already writing it down. I already have it down. This is already the worst feud of the year. Fuck this. They have Rusev in the ring, and there's two storylines that are really annoying me right now. It's Rusev and Lana with Nakamura, and then there's the Mandy Rose Naomi stuff. Both those storylines are really bothering me on SmackDown. I think both those storylines really suck. I mean, you have two other great storylines with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, and then Becky and Charlotte being involved in their storylines. Those are all really good. It's just that those two storylines are really annoying the fuck out of me. Rusev is showing his wedding ring. He's talking about how Nakamura crossline. Rusev, you fucking idiot. It's your wife's fault. She was behind you and you got kicked and you fell into her. And how this is somehow Shinsuke Nakamura's fault. I'm so fucking sick of this. If they really want to do something, have Nakamura Kinshasa Lana in the fucking face. You can set up a great storyline. Instead, Nakamura hits Rusev and he falls into Lana. This fucking feud sucks. This is bullshit. This fucking PC bullshit. A man can't hit a woman. You know what? They allow in the mixed match challenge, women are allowed to hit men. I hate the idea of intergender wrestling, like man versus woman. Lucha Underground does that. I hate that. I think that's bullshit. I think it's just not believable. But if we're going to have a situation where the women are allowed to hit the men, you can have the men hit the woman. And obviously a woman hitting a man is not the same as a man hitting a woman. I understand that. But seriously, if you're going to do that, you may as well have to go both ways. And here, if they want to get heat on Nakamura, have them Kinshasa Lana. You're afraid of PC Twitter backlash. Twitter is not real life. Perfect example of Twitter not being real life. Hulk Hogan is Hitler on Twitter, all right? There's people actually comparing him to Hitler. There's people saying he's the devil. People hate Hulk Hogan on Twitter. It feels like most people do. And the most people who are most vocal about it are very negative towards Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan comes up and he gets a good pop. See, Twitter is not real life. Twitter is not real life. As Dave Rubin would say, it's not. It's a small subset of the vocal minority of people on Twitter. Don't pay attention, WWE, to Twitter. I wish you'd get off Twitter. Seriously. The wrestlers can stay on Twitter. Becky, everyone except Becky, get off Twitter. All right? And maybe not. The wrestlers can stay. But WWE, get your Twitter account off. All it's doing is you're bowing into the criticism. And the problem with these Twitter trolls, these fucking losers, is they have all these access to these advertisers. They can get shows boycotted. It's always conservative talk shows. They get boycotted, and some of them have to be taken off the air because these left-wing nuts are boycotting their sponsors. And they're going to do it to WWE. They're going to go after WWE sponsors. I'm just so sick of it. Stop bowing into these PC Twitter bitches. Fuck them and just stick the middle finger. Have Nakamura do something to Lana if you want to do that. If not, then just tell Lana, get her out. All right? Just let her stay in the background. Fucking hate this. It's so stupid. Nakamura did nothing wrong. Lana was behind Rusev. It's like, Rusev, you put your wife in harm's way, you fucking idiot. I hate this goddamn storyline. I'm sorry. Anyway, they had Nakamura beat up Rusev again. It's just, they had Becky Lynch doing her backstage promo. I guess all three of them are doing it. Becky was fine here. Yeah, everyone loves Becky. So they go back and they show Hulk Hogan tributing Mean Gene Okerlund. This was a great promo. I watched it again. Hogan's really getting emotional. And that Mean Gene tribute video, that's so depressing. It's like, it was sad. It almost brings a tear to your eye. Just like all the wrestlers he's interacting with are almost all dead. It's so depressing. Bobby the Brain Heenan, they show him a lot with him. He's passed away. The Macho Man Randy Savage. They show Ultimate Warrior. They show Mr. Perfect. They show Roddy Piper. All these great wrestlers have all passed away. Yeah, it's tough watching that. It makes it really depressing. That's one of the best video packages ever. My favorite one that actually made me cry was the one with Randy Savage after he passed away. It was actually a Coldplay song, but I thought that was just such an emotional video package watching that. But this one, this was very... it's tough to watch. I hate seeing so many wrestlers. I grew up watching almost all of them. Like, half the wrestlers in there are passed away. It's horrible. Rest in peace, Mean Gene. Man, that was actually rough watching that again. They show Sheamus and Cesaro against the Usos. I hate this. So, all right, Mandy Rose comes out and she's wearing nothing but a towel, and like the way you can tell she's wearing clothes underneath. She wants Jimmy Uso to help her because she left her ring gear. Sheamus hits Uso with Cesaro hits his finisher on Jay, or I don't remember. Oh, it was Jay, and Sheamus and Cesaro win. So they go backstage later. We'll get to that. After the match, The Miz comes out. And I laughed my ass off when The Miz came out. When he's walking up the ramp, you can literally see Jimmy Uso sprinting to the back. It was fucking hilarious. Because, like, the camera fucked up there. He's talking about how he wants the tag title match. And then they lay out The Miz. Sheamus hits him with the bro kick. This stuff sucked. That stuff sucked. All right, backstage, you have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville talking. You have Mandy Rose take off her towel, the white towel she's wearing, and like the fans are, oh yeah, she's wearing her ring gear. She brags about how she tricked them, and then Naomi comes out and she attacks Mandy Rose. She starts beating her up, and then Sonya Deville intervenes. And Naomi tries to take over, but then Sonya hits Naomi with a kick to the body, and Naomi collapses. It was fine. They're setting up, I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to pay this off, but Mandy Rose is going to get a huge push. I guess Sonya Deville's fine as her muscle. Like, she's kind of that lesbian chick who wants to fuck Mandy Rose, but, like, she's just going to be okay to be her bodyguard. It's kind of how their relationship is, I'm just saying. Yeah, I guess, I don't know how, you can't have Mandy Rose and Naomi on a pay-per-view. It's not a pay-per-view quality match, but maybe they'll just blow it off on SmackDown, because Mandy Rose is going to get a big push this year. I think she might even get a title run. Don't be surprised. So they show Charlotte. It was her turn. They showed all three. Charlotte's one was okay. It was fine. I mean, they're just doing it to kill time, I think. Daniel Bryan's with Kayla Braxton backstage. He cuts a great role. Like, Kayla's, she looks scared. Like, the intensity. Daniel Bryan's one of those few wrestlers in the company now that you can tell he really enjoys being a heel. He loves being a heel, and he's just doing a fantastic job at being a heel. Incredible promo. Talk about who's going to be the champion forever. Really good. I'm definitely looking forward to the match. I expect him to lose, but this was a great promo. So they showed the 6 new faces from NXT. I knew Lacey Evans and EC3 were on Raw last night. EC3 won his dark match. Lacey Evans lost to Natalya. I don't know what the point of that is. Shane and Miz, I'm just going to ignore it. So main event, finally we get to here. Main event, triple threat, number one contenders match. You have Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Becky is definitely the most over here. I have to say this match was great. I loved it. I thought this was an amazing main event here. One of the best women's matches on TV they've done in a while. Very exciting. One thing you really thought, or I at least felt, I don't know how you guys felt, but I truly believed any one of these three can win. I believe Charlotte can obviously win. I believe Becky can win, who I expected to win. And I also thought there's an offset chance of Carmella winning, because I can easily see Becky and Charlotte being the last two in the Royal Rumble. So I actually thought Carmella could win this, and also would give away for Asuka to get her revenge on Carmella. But Becky gets the win here. Becky's very over. Asuka comes out. They have a stare down. Asuka versus Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble.